We're going to go ahead and get started today. I just wanted to do a quick video about maintenance, how to make healthy eating more simple. I think a lot of times people, when they're on the program, it's so laid out and structured that it's kind of scary to think about making all of those choices yourself. So we're going to go through a few things to make it a little bit easier for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that. So just kind of a real overview of my story. I found this program after gaining a lot of weight with each pregnancy, and this is a picture after my 6th baby. And you know, the older I got, the harder it was to lose weight and the harder it was to keep it off. And so I love this program not only because it is very simple and it helps you get to your goal, but it teaches you the tools that you need to be able to stay healthy and keep it off for the rest of your life. And so we're going to go over a few of the basic things that we want to make sure that we're doing. Okay, so the first thing is we want to know what your health goals are. So when you start the program, usually you have a definite goal. It's usually a number on the scale that you want to see, a healthy weight you want to get to, maybe some habits that you want to work on, maybe you want to start more exercise and get toned. But the idea is that you're always setting health goals. And so just because you reached a finish line doesn't mean the work is over. Staying healthy and keeping weight off will always be something that you have to work on. No matter what you do to lose the weight, if you go back to old habits, it will always come back. And so that's why we're always wanting to set goals to get better in life. And so that includes with your health. And so maybe think about what you want to work on now. So I know Valerie, you still want to lose a little bit more weight. Linda, if I remember right, did you get to your goal weight, Linda? Not if it's a yes. All right. Yes, so she is at her goal, and so we're talking about for her, like what the next thing is, the next step. And so maybe just think about what area in your life you want to work on. It might be an exercise goal that you want to tone or be more active. It might be that you want to get better sleep. You want to get better at drinking your water. Maybe starting meditation or yoga to manage stress. So maybe just think of what area in your life you want to work on. And it could be a spiritual goal, that's a healthy mind goal. Might be a finance goal. So whatever it is, if you're working on getting better, that's going to help move you forward. And remember your why. Remember why you wanted to get healthy, because that's a big part. That's why I love before and after pictures. If you can put that before and after picture on your fridge or on your phone, that's going to remind you how far you've come and that you don't want to go back to those things. So a few things that are going to help you to maintain that weight loss and to continue to get healthier are a few basics. You always want to eat within an hour of waking up. That just gets your metabolism going. If you wait and eat at lunchtime or dinner, you're going to end up eating more calories because you're going to be so hungry and your metabolism slows down. And so your body's just going to store that as fat much more easily. So if you get your metabolism started right within an hour of waking up, and preferably having something with protein in the morning instead of something that's high carb like a bowl of cereal or a bagel or something, that's just going to store as fat a lot more easy than if you had maybe an egg with some whole grain toast or something. So make sure you're getting protein first thing in the morning. And generally I see that however you start your day is typically how it's going to go for the rest of the day. So if you start your day with sugar, you're going to crave sugar all day. If you start your day with a healthy meal, then you're going to already have started that healthy habit in the morning, and you're going to be more likely to stick with it. So usually for myself, I'm in a hurry, and so I usually do like the Optavia hot cocoa or shake. And then I know if I invested in my health first thing in the morning, I'm going to be more picky about my choices throughout the day. But just make sure it has something with protein. And then you still always want to eat within 3 hours. So just like you did when you're on program, these were just trainings for the rest of your life. These habits, everything that you did on program are things that you want to do for the rest of your life in regards to habits. So eating every 2 to 3 hours. And again, every time you eat, you want to have something that has protein in it. So generally you would do 3 meals and then 3 around 100 calorie balanced snacks. It really depends on how many calories you need to maintain your weight for that day. So a man would probably not just eat a 100 calorie snack, maybe a 200 calorie snack. So if you need help knowing about how many calories you need to maintain your weight, let me know. We can figure that out for you. but generally you'll do 3 meals and then 300 calorie snacks that are balanced to keep your blood sugar balanced. So some ideas, and we'll go over some ideas actually in another slide. And then also drinking your water. Water is going to be one of the best habits to maintain your weight. So 100 ounces of water per day is what I like to shoot for. The way that I do that is I chug 32 ounces first thing in the morning. I do it again by 1 o'clock, and then I do it again while I'm making dinner. So that's how I get my water in. But whatever works for you, just make sure you continue that. And if you go to bed at night, think about how you did with that habit and set a goal for the next day to do better if you're struggling with that. Especially when you're traveling or you're really busy, it's easy to go the whole day and not drink any water. So just take note, whenever you go to the bathroom, if your urine is dark yellow, that means you're needing some more water. So that's kind of a good reminder. All right, so we talked about eating every 3 hours. We're going to talk about why that's important. So there was a study by David Jenkins in University of Toronto Science Lab, and they talked about the low glycemic eating habit. And so they had 2 groups of people. Each group ate exactly the same foods, exactly the same amounts, but one group ate 3 traditional meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then the other group split the same food into smaller, more frequent balanced meals. So they ate the same things, but the group that ate every 3 hours lost more weight. They were less hungry. They even reduced their cholesterol and blood insulin levels. So those are really important reasons of why you want to do that more frequently versus bigger meals 3 times a day. And actually your body can only metabolize about 400 calories at a time. And so if you're eating 1,000 calories at one time, what's it going to do with those extra calories? It's going to have to store it because it doesn't know what to do with it. One thing I like to remember is your body doesn't store protein. And so if you're extra hungry and you need something extra, doing something that's really low carb, and also protein is a great option. So low carb veggies or some extra, like a boiled egg, that's a great thing to do when you're hungry. And then we're going to talk about how to make a plate. So I don't want you to obsess about counting every calorie for the rest of your life. Although once you hit your goal, I do like my clients to track their calories on like MyFitnessPal or an app like that, just to get an idea about how much you are eating. And that way we can look over your food journal and see what things that we can tweak. But once you are at a place that your weight is staying pretty stable, as long as you follow this rule, you should be good. So 3 times a day, you're going to be doing your bigger meals and then 3 times the snacks. So with your bigger meals, using a smaller plate, so a 9-inch plate, that would be the size of like a paper plate, the inside of it, or most dinner plates. The inside of a dinner plate is usually 9 inches. So if you make sure you don't let any food go up on the rim, or I specifically went and found 9-inch plates that I like to eat off of because it tricks your brain because your plate is fuller. It makes your brain think that you're eating more. And also the color blue decreases your appetite. So if you can find a blue 9-inch plate, that's even best. So red, the colors red and yellow, increase your appetite. That's why most every food chain, their colors are red and yellow because it makes you hungrier when you see those colors. And so painting your kitchen blue or eating off a blue plate actually helps you eat less. So when you fix your plate, you always want to make sure that half of your plate is fruits and vegetables. So most of the time I like to make sure that's vegetables, but fruits are healthy. When I eat fruits, I like to do that earlier in the day. So breakfast and lunch and in between snack is a great time to have fruit. Later in the day, I like to keep it lower carb because your body, if you're not using it, will just store those carbs. And so eating lower carb at night when you're not going to be burning them off as much is going to be smarter. So eating your fruits for breakfast and lunch or snack, that's a great idea. But vegetables, that's always a go. Like always put vegetables on your plate. And one thing in maintenance is I try to eat vegetables 3 times a day. So always for dinner, always for lunch, and then trying to fit in a vegetable for a snack. So handful of baby carrots or, just something quick, celery with some peanut butter. So trying to make a goal of 3 times a day you eat a vegetable and then maybe twice a day for fruit. And then for the rest of your plate, a quarter of your plate can be a healthy carb. And that means like a whole grain. And then a quarter of your plate will be a lean protein. And don't feel like you have to have the carb, especially if you are still working on a weight loss goal and you're just trying to eat healthy. Then I would recommend most of the time leaving that carb right off your plate, just doing the vegetables and the protein. Because the lower carbs that you're eating, the more your body has to use your body fat for energy. So let's get an example of a dinner. Maybe you're having spaghetti. We had spaghetti tonight for dinner. So if you did, so in your sauce, you have like some lean ground meat and some tomato sauce. And then maybe for your vegetables, you're going to do zucchini noodles, because on your program, you found out that you love zucchini noodles. So great. Do that for the main part of your vegetables. Maybe add a little bit extra cottage cheese on the side for some protein, because there's probably not a full serving of protein in the sauce with the meat. And then the healthy carb. Maybe you're going to have dessert later, and you know you're going to have that dessert. So save that carb for later for that dessert. Or maybe you really want a small piece of French bread. Then great, that can be your carb as long as you had the noodles as a vegetable. So hopefully that makes sense. Kind of pick and choose what your favorite carbs are. Don't just eat them because they're there, but think about if that's something that you really love, if that's worth it. So for example, maybe you make cookies and you really want a cookie once you get to your goal. And that's okay. You know, it's all in moderation and having a good relationship with food. So instead of, like I used to do when I make cookies, is, oh, I hardly ever let myself eat cookies. So if I start eating cookies, maybe I'll eat 8 or 10 cookies because I know I'm not going to eat any more the next day. But now in maintenance, we really want to be mindful. So for a snack, maybe 1 cookie, that would count as your carb. And then make sure you have some protein along with it, a string cheese or a bowl of cottage cheese, and just be okay with that. You had a carb and a protein, and then the next 3 hours, maybe you'll choose something healthier. Or tell yourself if you want another cookie, you'll wait till your next fueling time. That's when you fuel your body. So that really helps just to have a better relationship with food, not feeling like you have to binge or all or nothing. Also making sure you're aware of portion sizes. So if you're going to have a portion of something, crackers or tortilla chips or whatever it is, especially carbs, make sure that you take it out of the bag, read the serving size, take it out of the bag, put it on a plate and put the bag away. So you're not just munching out of a bag, because that can really add up. So just really be aware of those portion sizes, because those, just like bad habits, can creep back up to be larger and larger over time. So just being aware of that. All right, so here's a list of great snack ideas. So we talked about how every 3 hours you want to have a protein and a carb together. So this list over on the left, it's kind of like elementary school when you had to draw the line to the answer. But in this scenario, any answer is right. So choose a protein from one list and a carb from another list. And if you'd like me to send you this list, let me know, I can do that. But maybe you'll have a boiled egg and a serving of crackers, or low-fat cheese and an apple. Let's see, some black beans and some veggies. So just kind of choosing one thing from each area. And just look at labels. Like, for example, Greek yogurt. I like the Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt, or the Oikos 000 Greek yogurt, because those are perfectly already balanced for you. So, so reading labels is very important. So something like a Greek yogurt is already balanced. That has carbs and protein, and that would be a great thing to have for a snack. Or always using the meal replacements. Those are always a good go-to thing, even in maintenance. So especially if you have a sweet tooth like me, I love having the bars or the brownies for when I'm craving something sweet. Then I can have that and not feel bad, and just know that that's healthy, a healthy choice. Let's see. And let's talk about glycemic index a little bit. It's probably something that you've heard when you're on the program about your glycemic index. Your sugar levels is basically what that is. And so a lot of times someone that's diabetic would know a lot about glycemic index, but otherwise we don't use it very often. But that's really the secret of keeping your metabolism running stronger, keeping your blood sugar balanced, which in relation keeps your inflammation down, keeps your body from storing fat. And so if you have something that's low glycemic, that will keep your blood sugar lower. If you have something high, of course, that will spike your sugar. So generally on a scale of 0 to 100, like 100 meaning pure sugar, this is a scale of what that would read. And so anytime you eat something high glycemic, you for sure want to eat something that's low glycemic with it. That will help balance it out a little bit more. And that's why we recommend protein every meal, because protein is very low glycemic. It helps balance out your blood sugars. And so if you, for example, go to a Mexican restaurant and you want like a tortilla or rice, make sure that you get black beans or chicken with that to help balance that out, because white rice, tortillas, that your body reads that as straight sugar, spikes your blood sugar, triggers your body to store fat. So you want to make sure you're balancing that out. So these charts really teach what would be low glycemic and what would be high. And you can actually get on your phone and download an app. Just search glycemic index in your app store. And you can search through like any food and see what the glycemic index is. So on this chart, green means go. Eat as much of those as you want. The yellow means be cautious, and the red means more seldom, because those are higher in sugar. So for example, in this chart, the red, those are all fruits. You know, those aren't bad things, but more often you want to eat low glycemic fruits like apples, strawberries, raspberries, probably like the best fruit for you, has lots of fiber and it's very low glycemic. You can see that's only a 25, so that's one of the very lowest fruits on the glycemic index. Let's go over here on the side where it has the yellow. You can see up in the green it says raw carrots are a 30. And you go down to that, like the orangish yellow area, and cooked carrots are an 80. So just cooking the carrots brings out the sugar in them and makes it almost so your body reads that as pure sugar. So raw carrots would be a better option as far as vegetables go. And so that happens a lot when you cook a high carb vegetable. It brings out the sugar. So same thing with potatoes, onions, those kind of things. Once you cook them, they are higher glycemic. If it grows underground, that's a high glycemic vegetable. So not to say those things are bad at all, just remember that you want to make sure that you have a low glycemic vegetable with it, or a protein to help balance it out. And then definitely if you're eating a fruit over in the orange or the red section, you for sure want to have a protein with that to balance it out. So peanut butter with your banana, or a string cheese with some grapes. That will help balance out that level. So hopefully that made sense. And again, if you have any questions, unmute yourself. Let me know what questions you have also. All right, so for long-term success, a few things that my clients that are most successful do is checking in with me like once a month at least. Once you get the hang of maintenance, still knowing that you need support. So just checking in. That's just, that accountability really helps you. Like if the scale starts moving up more than 3 pounds, give your coach a call. Let them know that you need to go over your healthy habits, maybe go over your food log and see what you need to change, because it's much easier to catch it when it's 3 pounds instead of 10 or 15 pounds. And so checking in with your coach really helps. Definitely probably the thing that helped me very most is paying it forward and being a health coach. That's really why I wanted to become a health coach 6 years ago, is because I knew that if I was helping someone else move forward, I wasn't going to move backwards. Not to say that I'm perfect and that I don't struggle ever, but I don't give up, because I'm a health coach and I love to help people. I love to, you know, like when you're talking to someone about drinking your water, you're going to think about how you're doing with drinking your water. And it's just so fun to see these changes that people make and hear how excited they are, and a lot of times we save people's life, not just change it. So it's very rewarding. So if that's something that you thought about, talk more with your coach about that, because definitely I would say that's the very best thing you can do to keep your weight off. There was actually a study done at Johns Hopkins University with health coaches with our company. We have over 10,000 health coaches in our company, and they found that health coaches are 5 times more likely to reach and maintain their healthy weight if they're helping someone else. So just like Alcoholics Anonymous, once they, you know, their last step is to help someone else, because it makes them accountable if they help someone else. So that's a great thing to think about. Also, if you treat this like a diet, you will gain your weight back. Just like we talked about, if you go back to your old habits, the weight will come back. So just knowing that you need to incorporate these healthy habits, and that you're always wanting to continue with those and progress and get better. And so not treating it like a diet, like that you were just eating healthy to get the weight off and then go back to, junk food every meal or whatever it was. But know that you can have anything you want in moderation, and in the right portion, being smart about it. And so that's really nice to know. But hopefully when, as you're on the program, your taste buds kind of changed and your mindset, you became more mindful. And so hopefully that will help you long term. And then definitely utilizing Dr. A's Habits of Health book as a reference guide. I like to just read it at least once a year to go through and just as a reminder of all the things that I really want to be working on, and learn again why I'm doing it, why sleep is important, that it actually raises your metabolism, and that's actually when you lose the most weight is when you're getting good sleep. And so look through there, use that as a reference. Chapter 19 is great about inflammation and what is causing inflammation, which actually causes weight gain and joint pain, and makes you get sick more if you have high inflammation. So just learning how to take care of your body is really important. And not just that book, but just seeking knowledge, looking for ways that you can learn more. Jumping on the Habits of Health call on Wednesday nights. That's not just for clients, that's for anyone that wants to continue moving forward with their health. So those are just great reminders of things that you can be doing on your journey. Let's see. All right. Well, that is all of it for my slideshow. Let me go back to this screen. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I'd love to hear some questions. I'm going to unmute. Becky, I'm going to unmute your phone. I'd love to hear if that all made sense and if you have any questions.
It made a lot of sense, and it was just very helpful because I didn't know what I was going to do that much after I got off of eating like this, because I was like, what am I going to eat? What should I eat? Am I supposed to still eat every 2 to 3 hours? But
good. So that explained it?
Yeah.
Good. And Veronica, I will send you that list of the proteins and carbs. And we need to chat and talk about good ideas of what to be eating, kind of an example of what a day would look like, depending on what your specific goals are. If you still want to lose weight, it's going to look a little bit different than kind of a maintenance plan. We're going to keep it lower carb for sure if you're still wanting to lose weight. So let's get on the phone and talk about what your plan will be, okay?
Okay, that's great.
All right. Any other question at all?
No. So she can start eating a little. Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah, of what her plan will be like.
Yeah, we'll get on the phone. Yep, we can even talk right after this if you want. So, Linda, I know that. Let's see. I can hear you. Let me unmute you, and you can talk through your phone, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Did you have any questions, Linda?
I am kind of like the other one.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna echo.
Okay. I'll hide the phone under the desk. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
So we probably need to talk individually on the phone.
Okay. Well, I would love to chat. My number is, Linda, you have my phone number because you called me right before this. So I would love to chat with both of you and help you with any questions that you have. And that's what's nice about this program is you have someone to help you. You don't have to feel like you have to figure it out yourself. You have a guide and someone to help you to find the answers. And but I would say, keep listening to those Habits of Health calls on Wednesday, because everyone asks me how I learned so much as a health coach, but really it's because of those calls. I listen to them, I read the book. You will just learn so much from those calls, and it really keeps you on track. It's just amazing every week. It's just kind of just what you needed to hear to help keep you moving forward. So let me know if you need the number for those, but those really help. And then September 1st, we're starting a group in our client group, the New Healthy Me group, called 4 Habits of a Health Ninja. And anyone can do this. They don't have to be on the program. So if you have any friends or family that just want to get healthier, we can add them to the group for the month, and we'll do 4 weeks of healthy habits. And so definitely, I mean, that would be great for anyone, but just kind of to really go over the things that are going to help you to be most successful through the month. So that's just in our client group. There's information on that also. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording now.